starting exactly from where we left off, Hans, in front of you, you see a figure wearing a very finely tailored suit with accompanying top hat and cane. Something you maybe didn't clock initially is that they seem to be smoking a fat cigar with a smug look upon their face. There's some silver scales going down the side of their face, though not all of them are silver, some appear tarnished and black. And with your expertise and keen eye, you know that before you stands the real dragon, who, after puffing into place in this plume of smoke, surveys the room, so to speak, and looks around at everyone and says, "Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this game. A warm welcome to all participants. My name is Kujon, and I'll be your humble draconic host in this little game of ours." And as soon as he says that, there is, of course, a small burbling of outrage from several people in the group. I say burble because it's hard to determine what everyone is saying. There's some little snippets you catch, like, "What is the meaning of this?" and "Where exactly are we?" That sort of thing.
Well, shit, dude.
The dragon, who has introduced himself as Kujon, struts his way forward. You can hear each individual tap of his shoes upon the mix of cobblestone and dirt beneath him, along with the consistent click of his cane against it every other step. Each of you have been brought here because we're going to play a little game together, and no one shall be leaving the premises until a winner is found. And it is at that moment that, just off to everyone's side in their peripheral vision, we see a figure sneakily trying to float away into the sky across that ledge there. All of you watch as Donovan turns around to face this intimidating draconic host, and he says, "Now that is quite alright, but I do think I will be taking my leave at this." And with a zap, he hits some sort of invisible barrier a few meters off of the ledge. He slides down, and you can see as his body crackles with magical energy. He eventually dislodges himself from this barrier, and the dragon turns around back to him and says, "Ah, so kind of our friend Master Beauregard to demonstrate the shield spell. Now everyone, don't even consider trying to get out of it. The finest wizards in the land wouldn't be able to break it, and considering you guild folk are cut of much the same cloth, I doubt you could do much better." And with that, he turns to everyone and says, "Okay, let's get into things and establish the rules of our little game. I'm sure all of you have homes you'd love to get back to, so let me tell you how to do that." And with a flourish and several other plumes of smoke, a bunch of pieces of parchment flutter down and into the arms/gun, whatever you happen to have. A copy of rules. Okay, so let's get into our death game real quick. And by just the instant he says the word death, there is an audible turn of heads, which is something rare. And Aaron pipes up and says, "What game?" "A death game, wherein the 16 of you will be forced to kill each other to escape." At this, there is a collective murmuring of what? Among all of the people, there is a bit of a look around suspiciously, which is eventually broken by Wallace pointing to him and saying, "Oh, why exactly should we listen to you? There are 16 trained guild members here. Surely we could take on one dragon." To which Kujan looks at him, raises an eyebrow, and says, "Certainly, you're welcome to try." And with that, I am going to quickly need everyone here to make me a Constitution saving throw. As in a puff of smoke, Kujan grows in size to become a complete silver dragon, standing at about 10, 20 meters tall. A large lad.
Rolled a 20.
Yep, Constitution.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
rolled a
the one.
23.
What did everyone... So you got 23. Alyer, Reed, what'd you get?
A 6.
Oh no!
15.
Oh, 15? Awesome. Okay. Then you see as Kujan, now with his true draconic head, it's worth mentioning, in his silver dragon form, you still see in many, many patches along his scaly hide, there are patches of black, which tarnish outwards into the silver. Uneven patches, it is not aesthetically pleasing, it looks like blotches, blights upon his skin. He lowers his head upon the crowd and just breathes out a almost yellowish looking smog, which instantly, Hans and Reed, you are paralyzed, completely unable to move. Alyer, you manage to keep your footing as everyone else around you collapses to the ground. Yes, everyone else. And with that, with everyone kind of, he puffs back down into his human form, showing that traditionally draconic polymorphing ability, and says, "Haha! Fear not, brave guild members. There are rules to protect both the victims and the murderers." And with that, he begins explaining the rules to the still spasming and unable to move group of people, with Alyer, you standing strong, but, I don't know, perhaps paralyzed by fear, if nothing else. He says, "The rules are rather simple. Feel free to read into the fine print in your own time. Rule number 1, the only way to be released from my lair is by murdering a fellow guilds member. Rule number 2, when a body is first seen by someone other than the murderer, a unique sound will play throughout the lair, notifying all other participants of the discovery. Rule number 3, he finger guns. Self-murders will not count towards release, and will be indicated with a unique sound. So, I don't think you can get out here without murdering." He goes on through a couple other rules, which are less important. I think most people get fairly hung up on the whole murder to escape opening rule. Along with them, to summarize the rules. Personal rooms are safe spaces between sunset and sunrise. Murders within these spaces will not count towards release. After the discovery of a body, a 24-hour countdown shall begin. This time is given for all participants to investigate the crime and gather at the rune circle to publicly vote for who they believe the murderer is. Any murders committed during this period of time will not count towards freedom. There are also a bunch of rules under a section titled Voting Rules. in canon, don't get me wrong, y'all read them, but we don't need to get to those yet. For now, all of you have been released from this paralyzing breath weapon and are back up upon your feet. Kujon sort of smiles around at all of you and says, well, now that you understand the rules and the stakes, please allow me to give you some proper motivation for the first murder. And you see he flourishes out what appears to be a deck of stylized cards. Now, if everyone could just hand them out real, and he is interrupted by a strange and unearthly scream. And all of you look to the side to see the source of the scream, and you see our dear friend, Stanton Xanthar. Mouth very wide, seeing as he is largely just mouth, as he stares down at the ground, screaming down at a severed eye stalk.
His eye stalk?
His eye stalk, to be clear. No one else has eye stalks here. He has gone from 8 to 7, and he is just standing there going, what? What do?
Did he? Is like the part where it came off of? It was like, what? Is he injured?
Feel free to roll to investigate if you'd like.
Because like, if it is, I could do the little, little pally pat.
That might be a good idea. But yeah, I mean, feel free to get a little closer. It seems like everyone starts crowding around him to be like, whoa, 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 what's going on here?
I'm going to, never mind, I got a 12.
A 12 for investigation on that?
Yeah.
Okay, all you get from it is that the eye stalk appears to be severed very neatly. You would expect a sharp blade of some sort to have done this.
Can I also investigate?
Feel free, Hans, go ahead.
Whoops. 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 Whoops.
I also got a 12, so...
Oh, dang.
Hans, one thing that you can say for sure, just with your own unique perspective, you get what Allier got, in that it was neatly severed by something sharp. You, with your experience in ranged weapons, you know for sure that it was not severed by something like a crossbow bolt or a bullet. I mean, it's pretty clear it was a blade of some sort, though you suspect that it was something that was thrown. The velocity just seems to make sense. Though there is no weapon in question anywhere nearby, as far as you can tell. Yeah, I would like to ask, as you're all crowding around. Allier, you made some mention of lay on hands. Did you want to do anything like that?
I mean, if it's floating.
Yeah, you could definitely clot the bleeding if you wanted to.
Okay.
Or like a point or two.
I can try.
Yeah, I don't think you need to roll for lay on hands.
I just do this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do it for 2 hit points.
Oh, 2? Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to spend that much for it.
I'll just move.
Yeah. You lay your hands on Stanton's now stump where his eye stalk once was, and it immediately clots up. It doesn't grow any skin over, but it just heals up so it's not actively bleeding anymore. It is at this point that Kujon struts on up, and he's clapping delightedly to himself, being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone already started with some violence. A bit of a shame that they didn't go the extra mile or anything, but hey, beggars can't be. And with that, he is cut off once again. This time by a sound unknown to all of you, reverberating throughout the place. All of you hear the sound. Immediately, Kujan's eyes light up, and he says, hot dang! Someone's a keener! And you hear the sound of a collapsing body from the outskirts of the crowd.
No, not already, no.
All of you turn around, and it becomes clear a couple previously unknown facts. For one thing, the weapon that cut off Stanton's eye stalk was clearly a dagger, because now you see that same dagger lodged within the throat of a previously alive compatriot of yours. Hans, with your knowledge of all things ranged, it becomes clear what has happened. The dagger was thrown and hit Stanton in the crossfire. But the true aim was for someone else. Someone who lies face first on the ground. The lens of their glasses has broken in the fall, and before you, dead, bled out from a knife wound to the throat, is Inksy Bella. There is a moment of silence as everyone processes what they are seeing in front of them. That is broken by Kujan saying, the sound you just heard was a demonstration of what the death notification sound would be. You hear that the instant anyone besides a murderer has seen a dead body. So kind of our dear friend Inksy to demonstrate it for us here today. Dang, I didn't realize things would be moving this fast. Don't need this motivation anymore. And he throws the cards in his hand down to the ground. Well now, let's get on with the— Shut up! And Mavra starts running forward as fast as she can. Everyone out of my way! Immediately she is crouched down in front of Inksy. She dislodges the dagger from her throat and says, I am a cleric, let me do my job. She lays down her hands on Inksy's neck, and a heavenly glow begins radiating off of them. You can see her whispering under her breath. And the glow eventually recedes. Reed, you actually recognize the glow, having been under it previously before. You can tell that Mavra in this instant is trying to initiate a Revivify spell. Hence the need for speed. She only has a single minute, which goes by unbelievably slow as everyone watches in a panic as she crouches there just whispering to herself. The light recedes. A minute has gone by. The wound is bloody, but appears to have closed up. Inksy remains unmoving. And they take a breath. They look up at the crowd around them. Pieces of glass falling off of the one broken lens. And they say, What? What? What happened? And immediately I start looking around, and everyone looks equally confused. It becomes unclear who could have done this. You know, it hits the three of you in a moment that you just witnessed an attempted murder, and had Mavra not been there in time, it would have been permanent. Someone in your midst was willing to do this to escape so early on into the situation. It fills you with an uneasy feeling of distrust for the people around you. Though that feeling is quickly broken by the sound of Inksy continuing to cough and cough and cough. They appear to be having some kind of coughing fit. Mavra looks at them, squints her eyes, and then her eyes widen all of a sudden, and she says, "Everybody back up! Back up, back up, back up!" And everyone backs up from Inksy, forming a rough ring. The silence is only broken by two things. Firstly, Inksy's continuing coughing fit. It seems to be getting worse. You notice a trickle of blood spurts out in one of the coughs. The only other sound is a crunch of popcorn as Kujan sits on a ledge nearby, enjoying the show, crunching away. Inksy's coughing fit continues to get worse, and at first it seems like they're coughing up more blood until they seem to be coughing up some kind of red smoke. Mavra, in a hurried voice, says, "That was no ordinary dagger. That was no ordinary dagger that just killed our friend. Everyone back up. That is a curse!" And you see the red smoke billow out from Inksy's mouth, now in just swaths, as the coughing fit becomes more than a fit. It becomes a type of horrific percussive cacophony of coughs. The smoke drifts down to where the dagger was on the ground, and you see the dagger begins to glow along with the smoke. Inksy's hair falls over their eyes, which begin to glow red as the dagger floats into their waiting hand. Inksy eventually slows with the coughing, and the hunched over form of Inksy Belak creaks upwards very slowly, looks at the room at large, now with glowing eyes beneath these strands of hair, and they say, "Finally, it's time for some action." And they lunge forward. I would like everyone to immediately roll for initiative.
What? No! Baby!
It's a roller coaster.
I really remember how to do that. Yeah, okay. Are you kidding? Okay, I got an 8.
And
Oh, you did better than me.
Well, first in the order is going to be Inksy, who, is mid-lunge to whoever was closest to the situation. I'm gonna say Alir. They're gonna
God damn
lunge
it.
in your direction. What's up?
Do we get to reset the points and stuff?
No.
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 Oh, okay.
You haven't had time for a short rest. Do you think anyone could rest?
I trust the one playing
If
D&D.
Inksy doesn't make it out of this okay, I'm
Pretty sure
Going
it's
to-
like dead.
no. If Inksy doesn't make it out of this okay, I'm gonna beat you up.
Okay. Well, as I said, first in the order is Inksy. Inksy
Sorry
is
for making their design so likable.
Inksy's lunging forwards towards you, Alir. That's gonna be a 22 to hit. I do believe that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. That is going to be 6 points of piercing damage as that dagger digs into you, and an additional 3 points of necrotic damage.
Dang it.
Hans, you're gonna be next in the turn order. What's up?
Okay, so I am on 9. Pistol form. For whatever reason. See?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
I'm going to try and shoot the hand at the dagger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Roll the hit.
26.
That's gonna do it. Roll for damage.
Are you shooting at the hand or the dagger itself?
The hand. 7.
You shoot at Inksy's hand, wielding the dagger. And as soon as you do that, in a very human gesture, Inksy immediately drops the dagger, starts clutching their hand, and goes, "Ah!" Because you have shot a hole quite neatly through the palm of Inksy's hand.
You're not having a good time.
And then you notice as that happens, the red fades from Inksy's eyes just a little bit, only to whoop, return a moment later as they stand back up straight, and the dagger shoots back into the hand. And once again, they say, "Ah!"
How are they holding the dagger if they have a hole through their hands?
You can still hold
You can still hold it, for sure.
Be uncomfortable.
Yeah, Inksy looks at you with eyes glowing red and says, "Interesting. Very interesting." As they start doing the equivalent of knife tricks, almost, the dagger starts spinning around. Dramatically, but perhaps threateningly, depends how you take it in the moment. Next in the order is going to be everyone else.
Oh.
Because we got a lot of boys here.
Gang up on them.
Most of the people are kind of just trying to stand in a rough circle around Inksy, boxing them in. Gesundheit. One or two try to strike forward. You see when Inksy's hand is shot, Mavra goes, "No! No, 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 no! Inksy is still in there! Oh no." And you see, despite this, Aaron crouches forward and says, "I am not so certain of that." And he's going to shoot a crossbow bolt forwards towards Inksy, which is going to be a 19 to hit, an additional 11 damage, which again, it sticks in Inksy's shoulder. And for just a moment, Inksy turns around, eyes fading back from the red, with tears now streaming down just a little bit as they let out a cry of anguish and pain, but even faster than the last time the red returns. Reed, you are next in the order.
Ah, boy, okay. Okay. Ooh, hee hee, okay, well, ooh, we are in a bit of a situation right now. Can I try to disarm them somehow?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I don't know what that would be.
you could... I don't know, do you want to do like a grabbing the wrist approach? You could certainly try maybe hitting the hand a bit if you'd like to knock that dagger out.
Okay. Can I try to, like, shoot the knife itself out of the hand?
Certainly, you could try that.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot my crossbow. If I get it, 25
25 to
to
hit?
hit.
Okay, yeah, then I think you have enough precision to hit the dagger. You can roll for damage on that one if you'd like.
5.
Okay. Well, the crossbow bolt with great precision shoots on out and bang, hits the dagger out of Inksy's hand. They are now currently separated, but you see Inksy is scrambling down to get the dagger, the red still clearly visible in their eyes. But for the moment, they are disarmed. Allier, it is your turn.
Oh, hey. Can I, like, grab him? I don't know.
Sure. You're trying to grab Inksy? Or the dagger?
Inksy.
Sounds
That's
good.
why I can't get the dagger.
Okay. I'm gonna need you... Make an athletics check for me, just to grab.
Sweaty. Are you
Inksy.
kidding? I got a 10.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do it. You scramble forwards, but Inksy lashes out at you as you do so. Rather animalistically, and they scream at you, "No!" And then keep getting down on the ground trying to scramble for the dagger, which they pick up on their turn.
Gremlin.
And immediately staring up at you, Allier. Well, I would say it happens in one quick motion. It goes, no, grabs the dagger, and they're going to slash upwards at you. Okay, that's going to be a 23,
Okay.
which definitely gets past you. Four slashing damage, and 2 necrotic damage.
Love that.
It's at this point that Inksy, with dagger in hand, starts running off in the direction of one of the tunnels that lines the walls of this rocky outcropping. Hans, you're going to be next in the order.
I'm going to use my extra attack special thing.
Okay.
And with stone, going to
Get the knife out of here!
It's gotta be a
Kill the
good
knife.
hit, but yeah, roll to hit. And I think the extra attack thing's just a thing that fighters can do at that level, though I would need to check on that.
It seems like it's one of my special trick shot things.
Oh, okay.
It says you can attack twice whenever you take the attack action, so I think I rolled twice.
Oh, yeah, that's just a normal fighter thing. You can always attack twice.
No, but then I have another one where I can attack. So I could technically attack
If you wanted to.
if I wanted to. But I don't.
That would be action surge, right?
That would be action.
Okay, yeah,
And
but
that
you
would
can
be-
always attack twice, just normally.
So to hit, shot number 1,
Shot.
17.
Yep.
Hit.
Shot number 2.
Shot number 2, 27.
Okay,
Okay.
here's what I say happens. Roll for damage on both those shots, by the way.
Okay, sure. Shot number 1 is 10. Shot number 2 is 13.
Okay.
So 23, 20.
The first shot, with a 17, just barely misses the dagger and hits Inksy in the arm. You said that one was for 10 damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. The second shot with 27 most certainly gets the dagger out of the way. And in getting shot really quickly, like boom, boom, rapid fire first in the arm and then disarming the dagger, Inksy trips midway into the entrance of this first tunnel and lands flat on their face. Next in the order is going to be everyone else.
Again?
You know how it is with everyone else.
Everyone else should stop being bad.
Well, maybe this is a good thing then, because you see in a gust of wind and feathers, Wallace dashes forward. One of his taloned claws is like elbow deep in his bag of holding, and he takes out what appears to be a ball made up of several iron rings, which he chucks forward at Inksy. Immediately upon contact, it wraps around Inksy in a tight coil, leaving them unable to move. The dagger still a couple feet away. Reed, it's your move.
How far are we away from Inksy right now?
Inksy is maybe 20 feet away from the main crowd.
Oh.
They did not get very far before tripping.
Can I, like, run over there and sort of, can I, like, what are you smiling about?
I'm just smiling in general. I'm having a great time.
Okay. I wanna get that dagger out of there, but, like,
Dagger is currently out of Inksy's hand. It is on the ground nearby, though you have seen it float into their hand several times so far.
okay.
So it may not be there for long.
You haven't had you to
Put busk on it.
Get busted on the dagger. I wanna grab it.
Okay. Sounds good. You rush on over there, and immediately you see the dagger, like, starts floating its way over, but you grab it by the pommel just before it can get there. You feel a noticeable tug, as if it is trying to struggle its way on over to Inksy's hand, which are now, by the way, pinned to their side, but you can see them kind of sticking out from under the iron rings. I would like you to make a quick strength check to hold on to the dagger.
Strength. My boy.
You're strong.
That is a 6.
6?
You tried your best.
Okay. Hold on.
Not very strong.
I'll be nice here. I'll give you a choice. You can let go of the dagger, or hold on to it, but take some slashing damage across your hand and arm as it struggles against you.
He's gonna keep
Either way.
holding on.
It's gonna keep holding on? Okay.
Noble sacrifice.
Take 9 slashing damage and 3 necrotic.
Cool.
a lot.
Yeah. It got a little wiggly. It's hard to keep it, but you do manage to keep it firmly within your grip. At this point, everyone else is kind of dashing forwards. Allier, it is your move.
And like, could I like realistically like not?
You could just be there if you wanted to.
You wanna hang
I
out?
I want to be useful for once. I could like are they like thrashing around down there?
Yeah. They're for sure thrashing around. Like, they are not like completely restrained. It's kind of like a metal straitjacket they've got going on right now.
I mean, like, could I try like knocking them out without murdering them? Maybe, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Non-lethal.
Go ahead, try it out. How are you gonna do that? Are you just gonna like blunt end of the lance, or maybe like shield? I don't
Okay,
know.
I'll just give him a little bob on the head with the. I don't have a shield. Do I have a shield? No, I don't.
Have a shield?
I don't know.
I,
I don't
thought
think
you
I have a shield.
if you check in your
Inventory.
I have a lance and a bell.
A bell?
I don't know.
Huh.
I'll just bop him on the head with the
Non-lethal
non-deadly
end.
side of
Okay. Tell you what. Make a strength check, but try to roll low.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the bad one is a good one.
Yes.
Wrong. Wait. Please. Please. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, okay. Okay, got a 10. Please tell me that's low.
I'd say that's pretty low.
10 will do it, 10 will do it. Okay.
I thought it landed on the 14 and I was about to scream.
You hit Inksy on, like, side of the head with the non-lethal end of your lance. And they let out a cry of surprise. And I think it was a good thing, because it looked like there was a sort of red glow building up deep in their mouth. But it immediately flickers out. And you see the smoke begins to dissipate, and the redness disappears from behind their eyes as Inksy falls unconscious. You are now out of initiative.
Oh my god. That was so scary.
Immediately, as soon as the situation seems to be in control, what greets your ears is
I swear to God.
a crumpling sound
I swear.
as you see Kujon hops on down from the platform he's been on for a while, and he's crumpling up the bag of popcorn he's been consuming, which he tosses backwards.
That's kind of a
Whoa,
waste.
he litters too?
He's a bad boy.
Okay, forcing us to kill each other is one thing, but endangering the environment?
Yeah, he starts walking forwards, and he says, "Well, that is certainly exciting. I have no more need of my motivation." And he kind of looks off to the side at the cards he previously took out, then threw on the ground, and he was like, "Well, I think our dear friend Inksy will be plenty motivation. And clearly, there's already someone who's willing to kill in your midst. Tally-ho!" And he just a pair of wings sprouts out from his back, and he flies on up and out of sight.
When
There.
he, after he's gone, can you just be like, your outfit is tacky? Yeah. Squirrels.
Sick.
It's like that picture that I made of Reed looking up. With the middle finger.
He's just doing that right now.
Yeah. Good riddance. Jeez.
And with that, there's stillness for a second until Busk walks forward and picks up the unconscious Inksy, still bound in the leather bands all around.
Leather.
Oh, not leather, sorry.
Leather. Consistency.
Metal.
Seriously.
No, I was thinking about straitjackets. Don't mind
Those aren't
me.
even metal. What are you talking
They're closer to leather than metal. The metal bands all around. Metal.
No.
Busk picks up AC and starts walking through one of the tunnels. And close behind him, Mavra begins to follow. She looks back at everyone and says, Draconic host mentioned something about rooms. Perhaps we should go looking for them. I suspect we are not going to get out of this situation in one night. And she starts following Busk down the tunnel, along with everyone else. I do ask, y'all following?
Or are we
Yeah,
following them?
I guess.
I don't know. Just asking. Free will and all that.
I mean, where else are we gonna go?
Yeah.
Caleb, how deep is that puddle? Out of curiosity.
Okay, Hans, you take one more backwards glance to the puddle. It's puddle-sized, except now there's the cards that Kujan was previously holding. They're floating in them.
But like, how deep is the puddle?
About an inch.
An inch?
Should we have left those there?
Let me pick them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hans,
I like-
you could hop on over if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Carry them in your non-existent
I
hands.
do actually want to look at those.
I also want to look. I'm curious.
Just the three of us.
Just
is
the three of us. Yeah, okay. You start walking on over to the puddle. Oh, hello, cat.
Hello, sir.
He's coming to say hello.
Man.
Do you want to join the campaign?
He's been making his rounds.
Yeah, you walk on over there. And you see the backs of the cards are all the same, though they are soaked in the puddle water.
Mhm.
The backs of the cards say, Kujan's Deck of Secrets.
Oh,
And it soon becomes apparent with your basic counting abilities. There are 16 cards that are just sort of floating there in the puddle. Three of you remember back to how before the poop hit the fan and everything went to heck,
Wow.
he had mentioned something about a motivation of some sort as he was brandishing the cards, and then, of course, Stanton started screaming, and then Inksy was dead. Yeah, and you look down in the puddle. I would like to ask, how quickly do y'all grab?
I'm grabbing them.
How
I'm
fast?
looking.
Like the speed at which we grab them?
Yeah, I'll say read. If you're grabbing them, mainly
Yeah.
because you have hands. No
Yeah.
offense,
I
Hans.
bet Hans
I-
could vacuum them up along with the water.
I don't know if
think
that
is
would
a
be
canon
useful,
ability.
because
Grab
it's
them.
clear,
Grab them.
read, you can already see the ink is running on a lot of them. Yeah, make me a sleight of hand check real quick.
well, sneaky.
Pull out my gamer game.
Your gamer game.
I don't know what to call my character sheet is same thing. Whatever. Set of hand. That is a 12.
Caleb, I think I should be allowed to vacuum the cards.
Well, I feel like that's less the issue at the moment, because if you vacuum up the water with them, they're just gonna get more and more
They're gonna
inked
get
up, you know?
mushy.
Inked
They're
up.
gonna get mushy.
They're gonna get tattoos.
Yeah,
What if I but you can like okay.
I already rolled.
yeah, it's happened. Reed's got the cards in his hands. Reed, you look down at the soggy cards, kind of try laying them out really quick. Most of them, the ink is smeared beyond recognition on the other side that doesn't feature Kujan's Deck of Secrets. You can notice some smatterings of words, like you can see on each card there was a symbol, which you quickly put together corresponded to the tattoos that appeared on your forearms of everyone involved. Most of them, the ink is smeared completely beyond recognition. But one of them... Sick. One of them, the ink is still readable. It features that compass symbol that you saw etched into Roberto's bony forearm. And on it, there's a title underlined. It says Roberto's Secret.
Whoa!
And below it, it says the text. In quotations, by the way. Roberto is responsible for the deaths of 31 people in a mass horrific accident. Period.
Huh.
No other cards are readable, and even as you're reading this one, it kind of flops over, having been saturated with water.
That is something to keep in mind, I would think.
Wait, did I see it or no? Can I, like, ask?
Was I the only one to saw it, or is it?
Makes it more interesting if you were the only one. Reed, you were the only one to see it beforehand. You're welcome to share this information however you like.
Let's be like, so?
Oh, there's a card over here. This is one of them. I can read one, and only one. Definitely.
And what did it say?
One of our I won't say friends. Somebody is a bit of a criminal, I would say.
Aaron?
No, Mr. Amnesia, if you would. I mean, I don't even know if he knows.
You mean the skeleton?
Yes.
I freaking knew it!
Skeleton. The guy who fell from the ceiling and showed up and he was like, hey, I don't know what's going on right now.
Well, yeah, of course he's probably evil. I mean, all this stuff happened as soon as he dropped in.
Wow, good one. Super amazing. But yeah. Either he is putting on the amnesia thing to be like, wow, I don't know what's going on, or he has no idea that he killed a bunch of people.
Or are you gonna tell anyone else?
Sure, like what the best course of action is for this.
Yes, Hans, you're there.
You can talk.
Yeah.
Hype up. I'm just having fun doing my character voice.
Me too.
Right for once.
I enjoy role playing.
I do like a bit of a role play. Yes.
I mean, like, if we're in like a killing game and there is a killer, or like a criminal,
A criminal.
a criminal. I'm just thinking that maybe everyone else should be aware of this person's criminal tendencies.
Yeah, but it did say it was an accident.
And?
I think.
So
You accidentally kill a bunch of people.
That's manslaughter.
That's manslaughter.
Ignore me being a
if you
hypocrite
were-
here.
If you were riding like a real fast cart with a real powerful horse, and that horse accidentally ran over 30-some people, like, it wouldn't be your fault, but it kind of would, because it's your horse. I don't know, man.
Still, I feel like this is important information to address.
Maybe. Could be.
At this point, hearing Alier's voice that carries quite far,
I'm a loud boy.
peeking around the corner of the mouth of the tunnel that everyone walked on into, you see Abigail peek on out. It's like, guys, are you coming with the rest of us?
Oh, we were just doing a little, investigation, man. You are familiar, you know?
She gives you like a nervous finger gun. It's like, ha ha, yeah. And she starts walking away.
Alright, cool. We're in the clear. No. Cool. I don't know.
Caleb, can you like canonically make the puddle of water
Why do you want
need the
water?
water to be?
I'll tell you after.
What if there's like a sink or whatever?
You know,
Does
there
it
might
have
be a
to be
sink
the puddle?
in your room.
In your room,
In your
your
room?
you get a bunch of water.
But I just want to know.
The puddle is an inch deep. I stand by it.
Oh, okay.
Canonically,
Then I
the
won't say.
puddle is an inch.
Are you
deep.
trying to turn into like a water gun?
That would be really fun.
Water
Ooh.
fight, and then you hear the. I mean, it's a shotgun, but you know.
I had a Nerf gun that was like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are we done with the puddle?
I think we're done here.
Okay.
Okay.
I think.
One other question. Reed, are you keeping the soggy deck of cards? Well, you can hardly call it a deck. It's 16 of them. You keeping that on your person, or are you just kind of tossing them?
I'll keep them. I don't know.
Okay.
Just in case.
Fair enough.
Discord.
Dang, I'm not on Do Not
It's
Disturb.
blooping.
It's blooping.
It's blooping. What did they say?
We're lucky that didn't happen during a riveting
I love
moment.
being a professional D&D
Are you-
player
Yes.
right over here.
So freaking good, dude.
We're so good at this.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I just saw a notification in the gun.
Well, Okay. With that, you guys start walking your way down the tunnel with the rest of the people. It is not a long walk, but eventually you end up on the other side. You see where everyone else is gathered, and it becomes clear where these aforementioned rooms of yours would be. It appears to be almost like... Think an outdoor apartment complex, you know, with those sorts of balconies with
Like
doors
a
along them.
motel?
Yeah, like a motel, almost, except it
But
is...
is it nicer or worse?
I would say reasonably nice. It is 3 tiers tall, and appears to be almost carved into the face of a mountain nearby. Let me just quickly let you all know each of the rooms from bottom to top. On the bottom floor is Inksy's room, Athena's room, Azalea's room, Stanton's room, Abigail's room, and Mafra's room. In the middle floor, which, by the way, there's only one staircase going up each floor. So maybe it's just a little inconvenient. The middle floor is Busk, Roberto, Wallace, Donovan, and Aaron. And on the top floor, Leetz, Violet, and Alia, Reed, and Hans.
Are you kidding me? Why do we have to be roommates?
You're really not roommates, but you're share a floor.
Okay.
We're on the same floor, so
Okay.
if any of us are really loud,
And
Okay. I
to
thought it was
be
like they're all in
clear,
the same room, and I was about to be
the-
like, oh heck no.
they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Yeah, the way you can tell whose room is whose is they just keep popping up, these stylized symbols that have shown up on your arms are on the front of each of these doors. It's actually like a window in each of the shapes. It's kind of fancy, kind of quaint.
that is 2 different words that feel different.
Fancy, kind of quaint.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Reed, in your case, your room, there on the door, there is a window in the shape of a spade.
Yeah, no.
Hans, yours is circular window in the shape of a crosshair. And Allier, on yours, there is honestly a pretty crappy window in that it's lines making a 4-4.
Yes. Why couldn't you give me a better one?
I can think of a better one if you want to retcon it.
No, it's
Nope.
fine.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
And with that, there's not much to see. People seem to be hesitantly walking to the doors with their symbols. One notable thing is that you notice Busk is taking the still unconscious Inksy into the room with his symbol on it,
What?
with Stanton floating just behind, also going into that room.
Okay.
I would ask, are you all at this point prepared to walk on into your designated rooms?
Before I forget, can I ask Mavra a question?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mavra's on the ground floor, so it's not like
I mean, I could
she's
just
that
jump
far
from the
away.
ground. But
Jump? Jump with what legs?
hover?
Hover?
Hover ball?
No, well, it's fine. Yeah, you run into Mavra.
Yeah. How do curses
Run?
work?
With what legs?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Okay.
Maybe I can rocket jump, you know?
We'll like shoot at the ground.
Yeah.
Do you have a rocket launcher form?
Maybe.
That's classified.
It could be like one of those cool like anime things that they get a new form.
Maybe.
This
Maybe.
isn't even my final
But, yes,
form.
anyways, Hans, you want to talk to Mavra?
I'm curious about how exactly do curses work?
Okay. You walk on up to her, ask how curses work. She looks at you and is like, well, Hans, every curse is different. As far as I can tell, the one that now plagues Inksy is some sort of possession curse. Like, think you open a sarcophagus or something and touch the body of a pharaoh, all of a sudden the soul of the pharaoh is trying to possess your living body. It's kind of like that, except instead of a sarcophagus, we have this cursed dagger, and instead of some dead pharaoh, we have a demon, maybe? I'm really not sure what the entity is that seems to be possessing Inksy at the moment, nor how powerful it is. It seems like Busk and Stanton are keeping a close eye on them for tonight, at least, until we can get a better idea of how it's going to work.
What would happen exactly if you broke the cursed object of question?
That is an excellent question. At this point, I do not know how closely tied together Inksy is with the dagger, which I assume is the cursed object.
Also, where is the dagger? Just a question. Who took the dagger? Did anybody take the dagger?
I mean, Reed was holding it.
Wasn't Mr. Goodfellow holding it?
You still got it, I think.
Okay. Isn't that a bit of a concern? I feel like I would be
A
concerned.
bit of, he knows a thing or two about magical objects.
Mr. Goodfellow seems like a capable holder of the dagger. I'm sure he could put it in a case or something in the meantime. We will figure it out. If the curse was strong enough that we couldn't leave it for a night to figure things out, I think we'd all already be dead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Hans. And she walks on back into her room. Just for some final closing notes before we end things out for today. Yeah, you all walk on up into your collective rooms, and as far as you can tell, they're basically the same between everybody. Even though some things would not be terribly practical, it seems to be one bedroom-looking area with a bathroom off to the side with a closed door, which I mean, Hans, even you've got a bathroom, which I guess would be a little impractical for you. There is a closet.
I'm going to take some of the water.
We'll get to that. Hold on. Let me finish. There is a closet, which each of you notice seems to have, well, copies of the outfits which you are currently wearing, just neatly stacked in there. Hans, your closet is empty.
Wait, is mine like armor or is it like the old grandpa outfit?
I don't think there are copies of your armor, Allier, but the clothes you wear underneath your, like, common clothes.
Okay.
You don't need to wash armor that much. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, unless you
good.
get blood.
Because I don't want to be in armor the whole time.
Yeah. The only thing I will add at this point, before, yes, Hans, we can get to you. Reed, the dagger in your hand has been consistently. Oop, okay. Reed, the dagger in your hand has been consistently kind of tugging a little bit in Inksy's direction, which is now directly into the floor. Since Inksy is on the ground floor, you're on the top floor.
Cool.
But it's kind of been growing weaker and weaker. Do you have like a box or a bag or something? Yeah, I think as an artificer, you probably have like a toolbox you could stick it in. Yeah, let's just say you've got a reasonably sturdy box that you can just stick the dagger in.
Alright.
And for a while, you hear a consistent tap as it tries to, you know, sort of float its way to where Inksy is, but eventually the taps grow less and less consistent until it stops.
Mm-hmm. Can I like tie up the dagger to something as well, just in case? I have rope.
What do you want to tie it to?
Maybe like is there like a bedpost?
Yeah.
Just tie it
You
there.
get stabbed in the night.
Yeah, sure. You tied onto the bedpost. At this point, its tappings seem to be weaker and weaker. You feel pretty confident you could sleep, though admittedly the tapping noise is a little annoying.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hans, how are you going to end out our session? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take a big sippy.
I'm gonna take all the toilet water.
Ew.
Okay,
Not
I want to
even
be
the
clear,
sink.
Hans.
Mm.
We are in a fantasy age.
Yes.
It's a latrine.
That's
It's
disgusting.
just a hole.
There's no water.
There's no water. It's just a
Where's our
hole.
drinking water?
There's a sink kind of near. There's like a wash basin.
Let me be clear. This is a fantasy age. There is also a sink. Just so you
Well,
know.
it's a fantasy age, but like flushable toilets at this point. Water is a pretty valuable resource. Like, don't get me wrong, artificers are very good at making things. I think it's a fancy latrine, though. It's basically just a glorified hole.
Do we have drinkable water?
Yes, you've got a sink.
Is the sink one of those ones that you can like plug? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Would I be able to just take water from the sink then?
Yeah.
I just want like a gallon of water maybe.
Sure. You could take a gallon of water from the sink.
And I'm going to make the puddle bigger.
You're gonna go.
Why do you like so much?
Oh my
You can
gosh.
make it deeper. It's just gonna get wider.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
What
Hans.
area?
Yeah, sure. By the way, I just want to add as a word of warning,
Hmm.
you're on the top floor. Your latrine hole. Don't fall into it. Because Hans, you are a gun. I'm putting it out there as a word of warning.
Caleb, we have talked about things like this in the past. I have hovering abilities.
I know. I'm just saying,
Make it fly.
be careful. around the latrine hole.
I don't take full.
Anyways, yeah, okay, Hans, I guess since you got nothing better to do, like what, sleep? Maybe we're not ending out the session for a bit. Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Hans,
Sure.
you,
I don't want to look at those cards again.
yeah, we'll cut back to you, Reed, in a second.
Okay.
I do want to make the hole, the puddle deeper, not wider.
Okay, Hans. You could
Shoot the ground.
shoot the ground, I guess, with a silencer if you don't want to, like, alert the people.
Turn
I
yourself
mean,
into a
if
shovel.
anybody asks, I have a good reason.
Yes.
I
Doing
don't
sus
would
things
love
in
to
a
know
murder
that good
game.
reason
Yeah,
at
what
this
is your
point.
good reason?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay,
I'll take
We're
it.
in a murder game right now, and you're being very sus.
Hans. Okay, you
On sus?
Unsus.
Hans, you start floating down. Question: do you take the stairs, or do you just kind of hop on off the third floor?
I can hop off on
Sure.
the third floor.
You hop on off the third floor. There doesn't really seem to be anyone around. You float your way around. In the darkness, you can see off a little bit. There's like some buildings and such. There seems to be like a forest nearby, but there is no horizon. As far as you can tell, there's like a spot where it just drops off, sort of re-solidifying the idea that you might be somewhere in the sky. You float on over to the puddle, and you dump your gallon of water on the ground and make the puddle a little deeper.
Yay. Okay.
What do you do now?
Now, how deep is the puddle?
2 inches.
What? Caleb, a gallon of like just how big is this puddle? Seriously.
It's like manhole sized.
You're gonna go back.
Do you want to go back and forth for a while?
Yes.
I mean, okay.
I'm going to.
Hans,
You know, you don't know why, but I'm going to.
sure, you start going back and forth
I need to.
for a while, and you can hear like the sounds of like plop, plop, plop as you fire into the hole to make it wider or deeper, I guess. Eventually, on a return trip, you hear a noise from the tunnel. You've made it about 6 inches deep at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a and rolling towards you on tank treads, you see Leets approaches you and is like, Hans, Mr. Dragunov, what are you doing?
I am increasing the depth of this puddle.
You don't sleep, do you?
No, I do not.
I don't sleep either.
Do you want to help me?
Sure. And she starts following you around. Reed, we're gonna cut back to you.
Cool, awesome. They're besties now.
Yeah, exactly.
Reed,
Yep.
you want to look at the cards a little more?
Yeah, like, kind of attempt
To
to
dry.
dry 'em out.
Okay.
Let's see if I get anything.
You've got like a table in your room. You lay out those cards neatly. Some of them, it's like clearly they are wet and smeared beyond any sort of hope of repair. Like some of them have just straight up crumbled into mush. But a couple of them seem somewhat recoverable. Are you just kind of fanning them?
Oh, okay.
Do you have artificer
Do
stuff
I
you could
have
do?
artificer stuff that I could
You
do?
could make a little air dryer, blow
Could
dryer.
I make a blow dryer?
Uh,
I don't know how that works. I forget.
Tell me what. Use your tinkerer's tools to make a little gadget for me.
Okay.
That would be a sleight of hand check, I think, to make something.
I think so.
By the way, Caleb, the end goal of the puddle is 10 inches.
10 inches. Hello, sir.
Oh, hi!
I rolled a 12.
A
You want
12.
love? I will give you love. Oh.
He is hungry. Okay. Read with a 12. You create something with there's a little candle that blows warm air into there. It's just don't get me wrong, it's janky. There's hi, sir.
There's not a lot of stuff in this room.
There's fantasy duct tape holding this thing together, but it works and it starts blowing away at some of the cards. Yeah, I will say you managed to get 2 more cards that appear to be somewhat legible.
Careers, this is for me and me only.
Okay, I'm not gonna roll for them. You get 1 card. Don't get me wrong, the ink is a little bit smeared, but you can just barely make it out. It has Leet's gear symbol on it. And the text that you assume says Leet's secret is a little bit smudged up, but the text below is legible enough that you can read.
Yes.
In her time in the war, Leet is responsible for the deaths of over 200 different individuals.
Well,
For war.
And now, based on your knowledge as an artificer, you would guess this to be the war that initially Warforges were created for. That would be your guess.
the war they were forged for, you may say.
Yes. Besides that, you get Busk's card. There's a stylized jar of milk for the symbol, and the text underneath Busk's secret says, Busk has the personal information and knows the whereabouts of over 9,000 different customers of his milk.
I mean, like-
milk.
Well, it's not that bad. At least it didn't kill anyone.
At least you didn't kill anybody.
But he does know where you live.
Don't make him angry on Twitter.
Okay.
Busk can dox so many people. He collects your data. Should have used a VPN. This
And
episode of Sabotage is sponsored
by ExpressVPN.
Okay. For our final scene of the afternoon, we switch back to Leetz and Hans. Together, you're able to take about 2 gallons of water per trip over there. You're at about 9 inches at this point, and you're making your way back over to, I guess Leetz's sink would probably be closer, just considering that nope, never mind, you're both on the top floor.
Which one's closer to the stairs?
At least reverse pedal. I think I can just tug it.
Is
Leetz
this accessible? Leetz has wheels only.
Here's the thing. Kujan is a horrible person. There are not, wheelchair ramps. So what Leetz is doing to get up the stairs is she is bringing her arms forward and is going, putting her arms on the next step up and heaving herself up 1 step at a time. It takes a little while. Yeah.
And she's still helping you, Hans.
She's still helping you. It's this time, as you're walking your way over to where... Hold on, my brain's slowing down. Let me refresh that. It's this time, as you're walking your way back to the rooms, that you hear some voices and actually see a glow of blue light just off to the side. And as you get closer, you can start to make out the conversation. It starts getting a little closer to you. You hear... Well, now there's something interesting about being undead, hey, wouldn't you say? Ah, yes, though I don't know how long I've been undead for, my spectral friend. Well, I'll tell you one thing, I certainly miss the feeling of sleeping on some days. And they go on and on like that, and as you approach, you see both Roberto and Donovan hanging out nearby, and they spot you. And Donovan goes, "Oh, Hans Droganov? And you must be Leets down below. I don't believe we've made acquaintance. It might be nice to know each other's names in a situation like this." He extends his hand forward to you, Hans. With a lot of confidence, I might add.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wow.
Here we go again. Don't shoot him in the face, please.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Well, usually when I shake hands, I would... the usual process for shaking hands is a little bit difficult for me, because, you know, I don't have any. It's okay, though.
That makes sense. Oh no, I wouldn't dare pull another man's trigger. That seems... that seems undignified. I'll just give you a friendly slap on the back. And he slaps, like, the top of your gun, because you don't really have a back. He, says...
Is this a ghost, by the way?
Yeah, he's a ghost. So he does a small smack, but, like, he also just passes his hand through you a little bit, which feels wacky, honestly.
Oh, wacky. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Does he know that there's water?
Hmm?
Can you see the water?
What is...
At this point, you're on a...
No.
Like a magic...
At this point, you're on a return trip
Oh, okay.
to the rooms. Yeah. He looks at you and is like, "So, I suppose you two are unable to sleep as well." Hmm?
Yep. Physically incapable to. Correct.
Usually.
You see Roberto pipes
That's
up
one instance.
a little bit and is like, "I don't know how long we're gonna be here. Do you think we're going to be stuck wandering around every night?"
You have cards?
Roberto kind of looks down at himself and is like, he reaches into the pockets of his pants and is like, "Oh, what do you know?" He pulls out a deck of playing cards. They are dusty and old looking, but seems to be a complete deck. I guess I do.
Well, there you go. You can have 3 other companions to spend the night for.
You see Leets looks up at everybody. It's like, "We could form a club."
No sleep club.
Donovan looks at you.
Insomnia.
No sleep club. Insomnia club. That,
The Insomniacs.
the Insomniacs.
That sounds like a band. Hey, you guys play
form a band.
music? Cool, that'd be fun.
Yeah, do a little concert.
Hey, can Ixie sleep as well?
Um,
Hey,
it-
how many people can actually sleep?
I mean, they like stare at a wall when they're not possessed.
It occurs to you, Hans, that this is basically the cast in terms of people who don't really sleep. The only other undead would be Violet, who Actually, as you're just thinking that, Donovan says, "You know, Violet would be a shoo-in for our club, I guess. But, she still tries to sleep, holding on to her humanity, I suppose." Yeah, I like No Sleep Club. Can we go with that? Insomniacs just feels a little, serious.
Serious?
It feels like we need a bit of joy.
So,
In
Donovan, what's your favorite song?
my favorite song?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, and he does, as you all start walking up towards your room to grab some water, I guess. I suppose you inform your...
No, I don't.
No? Do you go to grab more water?
Yes.
Okay.
While he's in the middle of talking. Oh, that's your phone. I thought that was a cat.
Wait. But can we enter their room and take the water from there?
Yeah. Yeah, because Donovan and Roberto are both on the middle floor.
Okay, I tell Leaks that. Might be a
Okay.
little bit more convenient that way.
Yeah. So you all go to the sink and it's like, why exactly are we grabbing water?
You may not know this, but I need to stay hydrated.
I did not. My bones are quite dry myself, and he kind of just gets in the sink and like. Yeah, eventually. Eventually.
I thought he was just gonna like tap himself and make xylophone noises or something. But, like, okay.
Eventually, for our final scene of the afternoon, Hans, you have filled up the puddle to 10 inches deep. You have your new companions here to watch as you do what?
What are you doing?
Well, since I'm done now, I'm gonna be playing some cards.
You're not.
And left on a cliffhanger, our review pans out as we watch the newly formed No Sleep Club enjoying a night of playing cards as these new friends gather their wits and their bravery for the day ahead of them. And that's where we will leave it for today.
Dang, that was intense for like a little bit there, and then it got all silly.
Silly goofy.
Oh man.